Sherri Franklin, Muttville, San Francisco, California. You are so famous. You're infamous.
Oh
You're the
gosh.
woman, you're infamous. You're the woman who said little old dogs that nobody wants, scruffy and lame and half blind and limping. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'm going to find homes for all of them. And you've done an extraordinary job. And now you're stepping down from the position of top dog, aren't you? What is it? You must be so full of emotion and tears, and everybody must be going, "Don't leave, don't leave."
It's a little back and forth. It's counting the days, and then every day I'm going, what am I doing? But
Yeah,
I think it's a really good time for me to go because we have such an incredible team that I can feel very proud and optimistic and excited for the future of my baby, Muttville.
yeah.
I'm going to be an empty nester now.
It's going to be very interesting because I don't think you're going to stay empty for long. I think, there's always going to be dogs in your life. That's for sure.
Oh gosh, of course. And I'm already starting to do a little bit of mentorship and working with other organizations that are or starting to do senior rescue or cage-free animal sheltering. And so that's pretty exciting for me to have the
Yeah.
time to do that. Yeah.
That's really the power of what you've done. You did start it. I remember seeing footage early on of you knocking on the door on a daily basis of the animal care and control in town, the open shelter, meaning,
Yeah.
high risk for dogs.
Yes.
Are they going to come out of there alive or never leave? And you would just go, "Oh, I got to have this one and that one, and what about that one over there?" And you were just one under each arm.
It was crazy time. I didn't want to get in over my head. At the same time, the need was so powerful. And so somehow Mottville managed to make it work and turn these dogs into something that people wanted. We like to say we made senior dogs sexy. So,
Absolutely, you did. You made it very sexy and very much like a source of pride for people. Oh, yeah, I adopted this dog. They told me he's got 2 weeks to live. Isn't that great? No, really, seriously, you made it just this cheerful, upbeat. I get to spend his last 2 weeks with him. And then, of course, because of the great care you were able to give them from the minute you took them in, 2 years later, this old dog I'm fine. I'm
I
still
know. We've
right.
had a few of those.
Yeah,
We've had a few of
exactly.
those.
And there have been some wonderful films made by Muttville people that have been in the Dog Film Festival highlighting some of these stories. And
That's right.
I remember when I first interviewed you, it feels like a million years ago. You had soon thereafter won the CNN Person of the Year award or something. And I
Yeah.
thought,
Yeah.
wow, that's compared to every person who's done any incredible thing all year long. And you were understood to be a visionary right from the get-go. It was such an original Sherry idea.
It was a passion and a labor of love. And I started Muttville in 2007, but I actually started bringing dogs home way before that.
That's
And
right.
and finding them homes. And that was pre-internet. So
That's right. Word of mouth.
we used to put out flyers
Yes.
everywhere and
Yes.
post-it notes at dog parks and at the
Yes.
beach with a picture of the dog and say, adopt me with my phone number on it. So it still was like taking a big jump to really start a 501(c)(3) and start taking in more dogs and making, oh gosh, are we really going to be able to make this good? And it took a team of us. It took a team of
Yes.
us. Some marketing brains joined in and some dog care people. It was all volunteer for the
That's
first
right.
5 or 6 years. Yeah.
And the cost of doing it, because there were medical costs, quite a lot of them, you raised that money and you got people to feel good about contributing to the twilight years of many
Yes.
dogs. And so we go from that, so Sherry's house, to a kind of storefront that was charmingly haphazard. I mean, remember the pictures in the beginning. There was like a big room and there was a desk over here and a cupboard over there and a bunch of old dogs, just some were wearing a sweater and some were big and galumpy, and there were dog beds everywhere, and a few old chairs and sofas that dogs could be on. And then you got to the point of having success at a level of so many dogs coming in and so many dogs going out to good homes that you have a campus now. I mean, you're
Yeah.
like this little old dog university, if you will. Talk about how that you, where was that moment where you went from being just charming and the little engine that could to being this locomotive?
Our board, we got together for a strategic day with somebody to lead it. And one of the main questions that we were challenged with was, do we remain small or do we go for it and be big?
Hmm.
And we all agreed that we were on a roll and we were going to make it more viable, save more lives. We were really needed. Let's do this.
Yep.
So from that moment on, we started looking to buy something where we could be as a forever home. And the board was behind us. My largest donors were really excited about the whole project of making this happen. We actually found a place. It took a few years to find the right place, but we
Yeah.
raised a lot of money. It took a lot of work and a lot of it was definitely everybody's labor of love, not just mine. So really say it's the donors, it's the volunteers. We have over 600 active volunteers. We love
That's a
our volunteers.
crazy number. It's a crazy number. Who has that? If people have 16 regular volunteers in any kind of an animal rescue mission, people you can count on.
Yeah,
They come in regularly or they answer their texts, and you have 600. I
yeah,
do think that leadership makes a difference. And it seems strange that it's a cult of personality because you have that personality and you are that motivator, but it really is each of these little old dogs catches the hearts of people. And I get choked up thinking about it because they're your ambassadors. They're the volunteers for the next little old dog you take in. And
yes,
they know how to advocate. They advocate for themselves. The Cuddle Club was an idea you came up with, which was
yes.
very much the human animal bond. Who needs who more? Is it the people who need the dogs or the dogs who need the people? When did the Cuddle Club come about?
I wanted from really day one to address senior citizens because I'd had an experience with my father that really changed it. An animal came into his life when he was diagnosed with some Parkinson's and cancer, and that dog changed his life completely. So I
Wow.
always wanted to have an element of working with senior citizens and our senior dogs. As soon as we moved into a place where we could actually we could, besides my house, because it was in my house, remember, for 5 or 6 years.
That's
So
right.
as soon as we moved to our place, which was leased from the San Francisco SPCA, we started.
So it used to be in your house.
Yes, Muttville was in my house, but as soon as we moved into our new location, we started our senior gatherings, which we called Cuddle Club. And it used to be once a month. And now we are doing it 2 to 3 times a week.
Wow.
Getting requests from so many organizations and from private people who want their mother, grandmother. They've really created a community of people that were isolated or lonely. We keep hearing about the loneliness
Yes.
that's happening all throughout, not all age groups, but especially with seniors. So we really have created like a community, like people start to know each other. They come to Cuddle Club. We also have Cuddle Club on the go where we drive to different places. Um,
Really? And you
Senior
bring the old
center.
dogs with you?
Yes, we take the dogs with us. We go to
Wow.
memory care facilities, the Dolby Brain Center we've worked with, the LBGTQ open house. We go to them, they come to us also. And then we have free days where it's just open to any seniors that want to come. And it's just becoming more and more popular, as well as our senior adoptions. We 50% of our adopters are senior citizens.
That's a huge number.
Yes.
Because I was going to say there used to be that clever little catchphrase, seniors for seniors. And the
Yes.
idea was, oh, if you're senior, you don't want a puppy and it's too much energy and too much many demands on you. So you're senior, adopt a senior dog. But I'm surprised and delighted that your number is half of your adopters because part
Yes.
of that little saying left out the piece of a senior who had some infirmity or had
Mhm.
some physical disability or lack of ability. And so the idea of taking care of a dog physically was an impediment, but they wanted that dog connection. They needed that
Yes.
dog love. And there's a charming short film in one year in the film festival of Cuddle Club. These people saying, I just have to have my dog fix. And,
Yep.
and their memories of the dogs they've had in their lives. And that,
Yes, we had a really great, pretty incredible story happen. A gentleman, we brought dogs to a facility, a senior living. I hate the word facility, but you know what I'm
yeah,
saying.
I know what you mean. Yes.
Um, and there was a gentleman there that hadn't talked in over 2 weeks to anybody, and they were worried about him. And they put a dog in his lap, and 3 or 4 minutes in, he started talking and talking
Wow.
to the dog and then talking to the
Wow.
people around him. And then the caregivers told us that after we left, for weeks, he continued to interact with people. And that dog just brought him his spirit
Wow.
back.
Wow.
So this dogs are magical, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. If you give them a chance, they are. When
Yes.
you talk about mentoring, it's really important because your Muttville inspired many other senior dog rescues. There may have been a few, a smattering, but now there's a whole network of senior dog
Mhm.
rescues around the country. People who
Great.
purpose-built a gorgeous facility or just have a farm, and on their farm they have a yard and a room, or people even starting as small as you did originally, people
Yes.
taking in their own home and they have a sunroom or what have you, and they have room for 4 or 5 dogs. I think your value is even greater by inspiring others because you have that much more reach. People come from all over the world even to Muttville, don't they?
They have been, yes, since we opened our new space. We've gotten a lot of awards and press around what we've created here, which is a completely cage-free animal shelter
Right.
and where people are welcome. We made it not scary, not depressing. We made it welcoming and warm for humans and dogs. And you can walk right in and sit on a sofa like you would in your living room, and dogs will jump all over you. And we have more, our adoptions have gone up 17% just this year alone of having, more people come, people that maybe didn't even think they were going to adopt a dog, but the dog adopt them. So
Yes.
we wanted to make something that was people wanted to come to and wanted to, instead of being scared by going to the depressing animal shelter, they could come to a joyful place. And the dogs are more social, they're more adoptable. Of course, we have some that have to be in their own little private suite, which is usually an office with somebody in there. Where even
Yes,
those dogs aren't alone. So
that's
we have
right.
a lot of socializing. It's quite something. It really is.
It's really lovely that those dogs, and we've all had those dogs or known those dogs, who don't care for the company of other dogs.
Yes.
You can call whatever you want. You call it dog aggressive. You can just say they don't like other dogs, but
Yeah.
humans, all good. And so
Yeah.
the fact that you have a way for them to be there, but
Yeah.
not have to be in the group mix. Not everybody, humans, wants to go to camp. And I think of Muttville as camp, you know? Everybody, and now it's time to eat, and now it's time we're all going to go for a walk. And there's people like me who are like, no, I don't want to do it when everybody else does it. I
I'm
just
not a joiner. I'm not going to join.
don't
Right.
want to join. I don't want to be part of a group, and I don't want to all toast the sunset together. Although most dogs are like that. But how great that you can accommodate the ones who are like, no, thank you. I'll just be
Yes.
great over here in Maribel's office while she's on the internet. And then somebody who wants to adopt and has a house that's quiet and doesn't have another dog thinks, that's my kind of dog. I'm that kind of person. I think that you allow for such a variety of personality.
We really do. We had an incredible, we do a home for the holidays every holiday season because the shelters really become overcrowded more during the holidays. Very sad. And we brought in 52 dogs in 3 days.
Oh my Lord.
And we had 44 adoptions last week after we brought in all those dogs. But we had such a wide variety. We had a pit bull over here, we had poodles over there, chihuahuas running around. We even had a Great Pyrenees.
No
German
kidding.
Shepherd. We had all different breeds, and also because we can do that because we also have over 100 foster homes.
Oh,
No,
I didn't know that.
yeah, so we also, as much as we love all of our dogs to be here, we have about 80 dogs in our program at any given time. So we do rely on foster homes for the dogs to acclimate to a home and stay
Right.
social. So that is very helpful for us too. So our model is very hybrid.
Which is that flexibility allows for so much. The cage-free aspect is hard for people to imagine, but if they go to Muttville on
Yeah,
the website and there's photos and videos, it's quite amazing. There are no cages. Wait a minute, where are the cages? Dogs are pack animals, they're social animals. And if two of them don't like each other, they just keep a distance. It's no big
right.
deal. And the rest that want to hang together, wrestle together, it's dogs from what age? 7 to 15? Is that your age group?
We've gotten 18-year-old dogs and we find
Wow.
homes too.
It's
We had a
pretty cool.
14-year-old golden retriever found a home in 24 hours.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing that people think 14? I mean, that golden retriever is going to need a lot of medical care, and that clock is ticking down fast. And they're like, yeah, you know what? Either I love Goldens or I love this Golden, and I want that chance. It's funny because I knew somebody in the pet industry who would go through Pet Finder back when that was the main way to find dogs, and maybe it still is. And she only wanted senior dogs. She
Uh-huh.
had this idea that if it's one thing to be a rescuer, a lot of people really want that feeling. They want to adopt, they want to rescue from a hoarding situation. They want to rescue from those horrible situation. It makes them feel even that much better. But those that say, yeah, but I want a senior dog, because that dog's had a lot of life, and maybe they were with one family or maybe multiple, and I don't know what their life was like, but I sure want to make those really golden years so great. And there's something, I don't know, do you think it's because of people's human experience that they had a grandma they loved or a grandfather they let down?
Absolutely. I think a lot of us can relate in many different ways to senior dogs. I think as I've gotten older and realized we become a little bit invisible, and you hear this all the time from other elderly people, like they become invisible or forgotten. And I think so many people can relate with that, that they want to go out there and help these senior dogs that have been forgotten, even though they deserve the best. So I think that is a very sound way of looking at things. I think that some of us are just rescuers too. Like
Yes.
all my life, a caregiver, a
Yeah.
rescuer, you
Yeah.
know?
In fact, you can look back even to some of our childhoods and think, God, you were always trying to help the kid in the class that somebody was being mean to. Was that you were always thinking, don't be mean to Sherry or Shelley or whomever?
No, I did other things too. I had a couple of kids in the school that were really slow learners, and I was not. I was fast learner, so I would go after school and help them learn to read. That was,
No kidding.
yeah, a
There you
tutoring,
go.
but it was before there. I didn't know I was a tutor.
You
Wanted
just
I
thought, you
wanted
know
to
what?
help.
It comes easy to me and it's hard for you. Let me help you along this path a little.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I think that some of us really have that. I have the inner police. Like I want to say to somebody two courts over at pickleball, your shoes are untied. Why your shoes don't fall over? What is that? You like you said, maternalistic. Are you getting enough electrolytes when you're exercising? People I don't know. And of course, you don't know the dogs when you rescue them, but you just know that you're fulfilling a need, and that's gratifying.
Yes, it is. I feel very lucky that I found my passion and
Yes.
was able to create something hopefully very lasting in the world.
I think you said that early on, that you have this team of people that you know will carry on this vision, enlarge it, expand it, respect it, and understand it. And that's really important. You don't want to feel that you've put decades of your life into something and then, yike, what will happen after me? Now it'll go on. You've left a legacy like an artist leaves a legacy. It's your legacy. It's got to be a great feeling. I mean, you have lots of life ahead of you. I don't mean to say we're putting Sherri out to pasture, but it's great that you can turn that corner and say, okay, I've made Muttville as good as it can possibly be with the help of everybody, obviously not
Yeah.
single-handed. Now I want other people to know that they can do that too.
And I think that's really important for, and I try and tell other organizations, so especially founder driven organizations,
Yes,
you've got to start thinking about there'll come a day where you're
right.
gonna have to have somebody take over for you. You just will. I mean, I
Yeah.
could have kept going, but I do feel like it's time. It's been 20 years of full speed ahead. And the younger kids are techie and they know how to do these things that I don't want to be left behind, but at the same time I want them to run with it,
Yes,
you
totally.
know?
Because in our age, we had Scotch tape and a staple gun, and we're putting up a notice on a light pole. I don't
Yeah.
think there are light poles anymore to even put a notice on, or it's probably illegal. But it's the same impulse. And you're right. The technology is going to make this,
Yes.
it has already made it even easier.
Yes, it
And
has.
and therefore empty the shelters and encourage people if they have an older dog to make plans for it ahead of time.
Absolutely so important. Please,
Yes.
please. We see so many dogs that I am sure when that person passed away did not want to see their dog end up in the shelter. And
God,
yet
no.
the dog ends up in the shelter.
That's right. So it's really important to have a plan for your dog. And it doesn't mean that you're a millionaire and you leave a trust fund for millions of dollars. It's just you have a person and then a backup person, or a place like Muttville, and you leave money to Muttville while you're alive. And then when you die, some more money goes to Muttville that goes along with that dog. It's like he's got a little container around his neck that's got Muttville money in it. So that he just goes directly from your home to Muttville to another home, knowing that everybody cares about him because he was cared about himself. Sherri, it's just fantastic in my case to have watched you all these years grow with such enthusiasm and optimism and then pride and joy. It's great. And Muttville is amazing. You've spawned so many little Muttvilles all over America. And I've talked to a lot of those people, and you've been their shining star on the road ahead. So I
Oh,
know
you're
you'll
so
continue
sweet.
to do that. And I just feel very lucky to have known you all
Well,
these.
you'll still know me.
I
You
still will
still
know
know
you.
me.
And then when you're mentoring, you'll come back and you'll talk about some of the great groups that you have been
Yes, I
able to
love
help
that.
along, and we'll make sure that more people know about those groups. You're
Yes.
the best. You're great. Muttville's incredible. Anyone who needs a destination, Muttville in San Francisco is an amazing way to spend an afternoon. You might get in trouble and go home with a dog. Just
True.
warning you.
But
Thank you.
come by anyway because it's a
Yes,
joyous
it is.
place full of love.
And very beautiful. And a fancy designer designed the building for you and gave you all the furniture. So it's pretty fancy and yet very humble at the same
I
time.
like to say that every single piece of furniture, even the desk that I'm sitting at, was all donated
Yeah,
by different, especially Ken Falk, the designer, opened up his warehouse, but also a lot of downsized office buildings gave
right.
us these incredible desks that go up and down and chairs that are comfortable. Like, it's crazy how much stuff was out there if we just opened our doors and said,
Right.
bring it.
Please, we need you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sherri. We all need more people like you in the world. Thank you for
And
being.
you too, Tracy.
You take care.
Thank you.
Happy Godspeed on the road ahead.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much. Take care.
You too.